my Chuckin' friends. It is Wednesday night fun and chalkin'. Oh my, we are gonna make something so fun tonight. Oh my gosh, don't you love it how my voice gets like ridiculously squeaky when I get excited? It was my nickname when I was a kid. I know, you're shocked, right, that my nickname was Squeaky? Me too. So tonight, we are going to use the technique that we used last night. So last night we learned how to shadow. We were practicing last night to see how it was going to work. And we did Country Girl in two colors with grayish and black. And I am in love with this sign. In fact, I did it on my demo board just to kind of practice with it. And I'm so in love with it, I can't get myself to wash it off. Because it looks so cool, right? It looks really cool. But we're going to try it tonight on a white background board just to see how the difference it makes. And we're going to use it with a little bit of a different kind of transfer. The transfer that we're using it with is one big long word. So we're going to attempt to shadow one big word. So I don't have all my stuff up. I don't know where are you guys here? Oh my goodness, yes you are. Hello everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello Linda and Carol. And Linda Squared. Hello, hello. I am the homeschool mama. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, they about me did me in today. At one point I sat down and I'm like, I think you broke the mama. And I, try to have a really good attitude about it because I love it when they're home. But Joseph went to his dad's today. That's always adds a whole new dynamic when Joe's gone. So, whew, yeah, it was the homeschool of mama today. Okay, so I just will totally digress here before we even get to chalking. At one point, my youngest looked at me and he said to me, "You don't love me as much as you love my sister." And I'm like, what? Because apparently he felt that I had scored the volleyball game wrong, balloon volleyball game that they had incorrectly. So I love his sister more than I love him because I can't count. And then he proceeded to give me like this entire laundry list of discrepancies he felt were owed him. At that point, I looked at him and I'm like, I think maybe mom should walk away right now. Yeah, I'm thinking mom's gonna go to the kitchen. You go find something to do. That's my funny Charlie story for the day. So welcome everybody. I am Macon Maria. I'm an independent Chalk Couture designer, which is the best job in the whole wide world because I get to have fun and I get to create and I get to do workshops and virtual workshops right now because, we're all kind of on lockdown, but virtual workshops in person when we're not on lockdown, classes, teach a lot of classes. I make stuff and sell it, do all kinds of fun things with my designership, but you don't have to do all that with it. You can truly just be a designer and enjoy a great discount. So if you're interested at all in becoming one, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to give you the information. But in the meantime, let's talk about Chalk Couture because it's an amazing company. Oh my gosh, mind-blowing. We make adhesive silkscreen transfers that are reusable. So for you Cricut, Silhouette, vinyl cutting machine users, this is so much nicer and it is so much easier because you don't have to weed and it's reusable. So there's a lot of very nice perks to this product over vinyl cutting and doing that kind of stuff. I own a Cricut. It's right next to me. Absolutely positively have loved my Cricut and still use it for things other than this. But if you're looking for kind of a fun craft that's super easy, anybody can do it, not super time intensive, this is the craft and the company for you. So we make adhesive silkscreen transfers. We make Chalkology paste, which is a semi-permanent paste that dries hard. So it is not going to go anywhere. This is not kid chalk, okay? This is adult chalk. There's kid juice and adult juice. Yeah, no, there's kid chalk and adult chalk. You can tell. It's been a long day with my youngins today. But it's not going to go anywhere unless you want it to. I could spray this with water and wash it off. But, I mean, you have to get it wet. It's not going to go anywhere all on its own. Even if you just splatter water on it, it's not going to get wet unless you choose to have it go, or it's not going to go away or hurt. Getting wet won't hurt it unless you choose to remove it. So that's what Chalk Couture is. If you want to see any of these amazing products that I'm about to use this evening, you can go to www.chalkcouture.com/makeitmaria, and you can see the fun things that we're going to make. So I have this really big board in front of me. We are using a big transfer today. Woo. We are using Gather and Welcome. This is an E size transfer. So our transfers come in sizes A, B, C, D, and E. E is the largest size transfer that we sell. This is an 18 by 24 inch transfer. It has two very nice words on it. This transfer has so many uses. It is not even funny because it's big. It's got big letters in it. And there are all kinds of welcome boards, gather boards, pillows, table runners, sign boards, things to put on your front door. I mean, this bad boy, oh, it's cool. And I love this welcome because it's scripty, but it's casual. It's not super formal font. And then we have Gather. And Gather is what we're going to use this evening. And we're going to shadow it similar to how we did the Country Girl. We're even going to use the same, well, we're using a little bit darker gray, but we're using similar colors to what we did the Country Girl in, just to kind of see how does it look on a white background versus the black background, and how does the shadowing work with this particular type. So what I'm going to do first off, just to make this easier so I can explain this to you guys, is I'm going to cut my transfer. There is a line down the middle of my transfer that tells me how to cut it, or guides me, I should say, in cutting it. So you can completely cut your transfers apart. The key is don't cut your silk screen, because that obviously is not something that you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to cut my transfer apart. This has now got much easier to show you. So we are going to stick Gather inside of here. We are going to offset it slightly because Mama made a bow. Those of you who are my regular viewers, you know that this took an immense amount of brain power for me. And I still don't like it. But we're going to put a bow. And I have the vision of the bow is on the side. But I don't know if that really works. And then we're going to stick green stuff. It'll be really interesting to see how this turns out. We're going to stick some green stuff in our bow. We're going to stick our little bow on here, and we're going to put Gather. I tried to find a wreath, and if I had more time today, I would have made a wreath, because a cute little wreath would look really cute right here too. But this is what we got to play with here tonight. So I'm going to stop for a minute and say hello, because I can see lots and lots of people are joining us here this evening. I said hi to the Lindas and the Carols. Hello, Christine from Michigan. Hello, Miss Virginia. Oh, Debbie's here from Texas. Hello, Debbie. Hey, Verge. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Missy from Missouri. Terry's here from Texas. Welcome, welcome, everybody. All right, so this is the plan for the evening. My bow is pathetic. I don't think it has enough loops. I think that's my problem with the bow. We may need to do a little bow reconstruction. But I tried to be, you know, like so fancy and have my bow done before I hit the live button. Just so you guys didn't have to watch me try to make a bow. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to set this aside because we're going to work on our bow. But first, we're going to put our fun little word on here, and we are going to shadow. So we did that last night. We're using two colors. We're using the same colors. We're using Storm and Black. We did use Grayish, which is a slightly lighter gray, because we did it on a black background. But because we're doing it on a white background, we need to use the darker gray this time. So we're going to use Storm, and we're going to use Black Velvet. And then a makeup sponge. And again, I know nothing about makeup sponges, but this is the one I found at the store that was the least expensive before I didn't want to spend a lot of money on one. And it worked perfectly last night. So we're going to use this again tonight. So this is my transfer. The first thing I'm going to do before I use my adhesive silkscreen transfers, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to write on the back of it. And I'm going to write on the back of it the name of what's on the other side. I do that for two reasons. Number one, I need to know which side of the backer sheet is the back, because it's got very distinct sides. One's shiny, one's dull. this transfer, the sticky part of the transfer, goes back on the shiny side when you've got your transfer all cleaned off and ready to get stored. The other nice thing about putting the name on the back of it is when it's time to put your transfers away, if you have more than one transfer out, it's much easier to just say, oh, this one goes on that, versus trying to piece the puzzle together and figure out which transfer goes on which backer sheet. Hello, Miss Lisa. Lisa G is here. Oh, and Julie. Hello, Julie. All right, so I'm going to carefully remove my backer sheet. This is a big transfer that is sticky. I do not want the transfer to touch itself. If the sticky part folds in on itself and the sticky sticks to the sticky, it's very hard to get it apart without ruining your transfer. So you do want to be careful with your transfers, especially one this large. Now, full disclosure, I hate this board. I love the look of this board, but I've hated these boards since I bought them, and unfortunately I bought a quantity of them, so I'm trying to use them up. I don't know what kind of wood this board is made out of, but it's a very inexpensive, low quality wood. So I don't like it. It works fine for a board that I'm not going to wash off, and they look pretty and they were inexpensive, so there's reasons to it, but my transfers take a beating when I use these boards. So I did do a step called waxing. What waxing is you take your surface and you take a wax, a finishing wax. Don't get hung up on the brand. You just need to know finishing wax, paste wax, it's all the same. You dip a towel in it and you rub it down. You wait a few minutes and then you buff it off. What that does is it's not for the, you're not waxing it for the surface, you're waxing it for your transfer. And by waxing it, it provides a layer of a barrier between your surface and your transfer so that when you go to pull your transfer off, it doesn't work as hard to come off. So it's stuck, but it's not as stuck as it could be if you hadn't waxed. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a step called fuzzing. And fuzzing is where I'm going to take a towel, a terry cloth towel. This towel is double-sided. One side is microfiber and one side is terry cloth. I'm going to take my terry, don't do this. This is where you want to be very careful with your transfers. Didn't I just say that? Yeah, I did not listen to my own advice. Okay. And you want to just touch your towel to pick up the lint. And what's happening is my transfer is becoming not as sticky. And I am just destined to do this today. So just be careful. It would be helpful on this large of a transfer if I was using like a bath towel. That would be bigger. But, you know, that would require me going into the other room. Hello, Carol with an E. Welcome. Okay, so I'm just fuzzing it a little bit. And again, it's challenging because my towel's not the right size. So now my transfer has some lint on it and it's not as sticky as it would be if I had not done that. When I go to wash my transfer off, all that fuzzing comes right off. Okay, so I'm going to place down my transfer. Now it has to go up higher because of the bottom of my G. So to me, it looks like it's not centered. Well, it's definitely not centered because we're putting my ridiculously lopsided bow and greenery over here. We've got that mess going on. Don't worry, by the time we're done, we will make that look better than it does right now. But right now, it just kind of looks like a big old bowl and a blob of green. But we're going to fix that. So we want to leave space for, you know, our kind of our fun little, it just needs another loop. I think if it had another loop, I'd feel a whole lot better about our cute little bow. But we're going to stick our little bow on here. We're going to stick some greenery coming out of it. So it's kind of going to look similar to that. We've got more green if we want to put more green on it. But that's kind of what the look is that we're going for. Am I not straight? No, I think I'm straight. Are you guys? Maybe you guys are crooked. Yeah, you guys are crooked. So that's the other thing, is make sure that your transfer is straight. It's leaning a little bit, but not enough to make me want to pull it off and start all over again. Okay, so I pushed down my transfer. Now this transfer has some very natural distressing in it, and you can see those little green dots. Those green dots are supposed to be there. They're meant to be there. What those green dots will do is they will give you a natural distressed look, which is the look. It's meant to be that way. Hello, Toby. Welcome to our Chuckin' Party. Welcome, welcome. Okay, if you're new to our Chuckin' Party, say hi. Tell us where you're from. We're a friendly group. We like to chit-chat. We do a live video every evening around 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, so we've gotten to know each other. We're kind of all over the country. I am in Wisconsin, in a suburb of Milwaukee. I've been trucking for about 2 years, almost 2 years. Oh my gosh, almost 2 years. In July, it'll be 2 years that I've been trucking, and I absolutely positively love it. Hey, Carol with an E. Hi there, so nice. I needed this tonight. It's so relaxing to watch me. Oh, Carol with an E, that is such a nice thing. Oh, look, there's already a stir stick in this one. I'm glad you think I'm so relaxing. I don't feel that way, Carol. Okay, so this particular storm, we used to sell these big behemoth things. We don't sell them anymore. So my paste, and it's almost empty, so it's way down at the bottom. So I'm going to add a little water, and I'm going to stir it up. I want my chalk to be a yogurt sour cream-like consistency. Well, I'm sorry you're having a stressful day, Carol with an E. You know what? We are kind of in a very crazy time. I have to say, my husband and I had a few conversations about that today. We just have to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and hang on, right? And have our little social interaction every evening tonight where we get to hang out and we get to create something beautiful. And don't you worry. If we get completely quarantined, I got plenty of crafting supplies. We can make a video for a long time. Oh, yes, we can. All right, so what we're going to do. Okay, it really is crooked, isn't it? I don't know. Is it? I got to hold it up. If it's really crooked, I'm going to have to fix it. I think it's crooked. We're going to pull it up. I could measure, but you know, that would be like logical, and I'm not logical. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to actually just do this way. And that should keep me semi-straight. Okay. It's pretty close now. All right, so I need to push out my air because I don't want an air bubble. If I have an air bubble, what will happen is when I go to squeegee my paste over it, it will take, the air will push the chalk underneath my silk screen, and I will end up with what's called a bleed. So again, I'm just pushing down around my silk screen, making sure I have a good seal around my silk screen because I don't want a bleed. And I can see air right there. You can see air because your silk screen is iridescent, so you can see it and you can feel it. You can also hear it. When you put your hands, if you hear a crunch, which we didn't, you have air. Because that same crunch is a sound you'll hear when you're squeegeeing your chalk paste over it. Okay, so we're good and down. So, ready? So how we shadow is I take my little makeup sponge, I have a water bath next to me, and I'm just putting it in there, getting it wet, and my surface is too big tonight for me to show you, but I'm just literally putting this in my water bath and squeezing out the water like a sponge. Hence the fact that it's a makeup sponge. No, I don't know, you could probably use another kind of sponge. This is just the kind of sponge the lady used in the video I watched, so it ended up being the one that I hunted down. Okay, so I have my sponge wet and ready to go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put our storm color over it, and then we're gonna dip this, and again, I forgot my paper towel tonight. We're gonna dip this in the black and kind of pat it off onto, we're gonna just do it right on a wipe. So we're gonna dip this in the black, get off the excess, and then we're almost gonna dry brush. But what I wanna do is I wanna do it like shadowing. So I want to do just one side. So I'm gonna do it like the sun is coming from this direction, so I'm only going to do the left-hand side. And it's gonna be tricky because the letters are thin. So this may not work, but that's my plan. That's what we're trying to do. So first things first, we're gonna put on our storm. The other thing that I have to do is I have to work fast because my chalk paste is going to dry as I'm working. And we don't want it to dry on my silk screen because then when I go to pull up my transfer, the chalk paste comes with it. So I want to make sure I work quickly. Just gonna put a big old blob of chalk paste on here. In fact, he's still not in here. If I had my big boy transfer, this would be a perfect project for him. So I'm going to use our angled squeegee, and I'm just going to go right across and fill up my silk screen. Okay, this is step number 1. Cover up your silk screen with your chalk paste. I'm not being fancy about this. I'm not being careful, because really the goal is to just get it across your silk screen. Smooth out your lines as you go. Okay, this is a big transfer. I don't have enough paste. Ooh, that was way too much paste. Don't worry about having too much paste on your project, because you're just going to squeegee it off anyway. So just squeegee it off, put all that excess right back in my container. Okay. By squeegeeing the whole thing again, I'm re-wetting the chalk as I go, so it's, you know, helping me with my time factor. Smoothing out my lines, because I want to make sure I don't have any lines. Oops, and I missed these guys up on top. Make sure you've covered your whole silk screen. Okay. Smooth out your lines. And now it's time to shadow. So I'm going to take my sponge, just going to touch it into my black chalk paste, dab off my extra, and now I want to just go on one side of my letters. I don't want to do the whole letter. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try. Okay, and I got to get my H, this side of my H. So I want to make it look like the sun is coming in the other direction. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. Right? Go big or go home, right? We got to try. Sometimes you just got to try something new. If it doesn't work, what I can do is I can take my transfer, wash off my transfer, put it right back over and go right over the top of it. Okay, so I think I've got all sides that would be needed. Okay. Right? Maybe this guy here. Okay. Here we go. We're going to see if it works. Carefully pull off my transfer. It's cool. So it has more over here than it does over here. So I'm going to set my transfer sticky side down. I'm going to dry this. Always dry your projects before you go to fix anything, because once you dry it, it will look different than it looked when you started. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to try putting my I mean, it does look cool. I'm going to try putting my transfer down and going over it one more time. But first I need to make sure my chalk paste is dry. So I'm just drying it, and I'll show you. So it does look cool, but I would tell you it's not even enough, right? I don't have enough of it, and I have too much of it in some places, so I need to even it out. But this is kind of, you know, the look. Trying to get you with no glare or better lighting. It's all about how I angle it as to what color you see. Too close, not too close. I don't know. I don't know if this is helping you or not. But you can see it. I mean, it's definitely there. It looks sponged to me. Too much so. Like here, I should have gone down all the way. And maybe that's the difference, is it's kind of like floating. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take my transfer that's not been washed, and I'm going to carefully put it right back on. This is actually very easy to reposition it because you can see the chalk through the silk screen. People are always worried, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to line it up, and it is not hard to line up. It's actually way easier than people think. All right, so we're gonna, again, this is a big transfer, so we almost have to do it in stages to get it to the right. Because you pick up one end and it moves the other end. So, okay, we got the bottom here lined up almost. Not quite. And again, big transfer, gotta be careful. These are the bad boys you end up inevitably sticking to themselves. Okay. Go up a little on this side, and I think we're good. All right, oh, and I didn't do this whole part of the R here. Totally missed that part. All right, so what we need to do is put down the transfer, but it has chalk on it, so you gotta be careful. So I'm just tapping down my transfer because now I get chalk on my fingers. And I need to be careful. I'm not worried about putting the black through, but I'm worried about if I touch my transfer where I didn't want to touch my transfer, then I'm gonna end up with chalk where I don't want it. Okay, so I'm just sticking my transfer back down. And again, I have no idea if this is gonna work, but we're going to give it a valiant effort. So what we need to do now is we need to do over here, because I totally missed this part over here, we need to go down farther on these letters, and I think we'll be okay. So I'm just going to, again, do the same exact thing, put my makeup sponge, just kind of dry brush it off. We want to go down. Do a little darker this time. Do this part of my R. See, and my makeup sponge is wide. It'd probably be easier with not so wide sponge. But again, so what I'm trying to do is add the shadow to one side of the letters and smooth out the spongy look. But I don't want it to be so blobby either. So maybe that's my problem. I might have too much chalk on my sponge. All right, we're gonna see if this worked any better. I don't know, we're just winging it. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull it off. It's definitely better. I have chalk all over me, so I'm just gonna stick my fingers in my water bath quick. Because it's black chalk, and if I touch it, I'm gonna end up with black chalk everywhere. All right, so it's better, much better than it was. It does look more metally, weathery. And I do have some cleanup to do though. So I just take a little Q-tip, just dab it in a little bit of water. Because again, my transfer has paste on it, so I have to be careful. And is the one nice thing about these boards that I complain about all the time is whatever they're painted with, which is, I'm sure, inexpensive paint, they wash off. So when you get chalk where you don't want it, it does wash right off. Plus I waxed it, which also helps me do that. So I'm just cleaning up where I got chalk where I didn't want it. And then we're going to take a look at, do I need to smooth some of this out? Do I need to soften it? Because I can do that, I think. By just kind of getting the chalk wet a little bit. We're going to try. It's like this big blob here. I want to soften that. I'm just taking my baby wipe and touching it up a little. And that's just taking some of the paste off where I don't want it. Take a towel, everybody, my new people that have joined us. Okay. So I got this part fixed where I didn't want paste. Okay, so what we have is we have this very cool kind of two-tonedy, shadowy part. I still don't have enough up here. And this R could totally use a little makeover. You know, a little bit more. Because then I think it would be much more even. But it is a very cool effect. I like it better the way we did it last night. And I think that partially is due to the transfer itself, right? It's a windmill or weather vane. It could have been a weather vane. I don't know. I'm not a country girl. But I do like that effect this had better. That natural kind of shadowing. But again, that is a large part due to the fact that this is a word. So I want to see if we can't zhuzh up our R here a little bit more. So again, I'm just lining up my transfer and push it down. I'm going to see if we can't get a little more up here. And it doesn't help that my sponges really kind of got chalk all over it. Maybe if I had a smaller makeup sponge, that would have been make a little more sense. Okay. Let's see. So now what's happening is it's not even going through my silk screen anymore because the chalk is dried on it. So try one more time. That just means I need to wash off my transfer. Maybe if I'm also not pushing very hard. Maybe if I push down a little harder. Let's see. Did that work? That's better. One more. Just again, trying to get a little bit more of the black through the screen. It's better. Okay, now we got more. All right, so now we've got it where it's the two-tony look. I'm gonna take my transfer, I'm gonna set it aside. It needs to go in a water bath, but this transfer is too big to fit in my water bath. I need to wash all this chalk paste off of my fingers because I am full of black chalk paste. Okay, so, and I just got water all over my project. All right, so that now we've got kind of that weathered-y, shadowed type look. And we're going to just put a little, my lids right on top of my chalk paste. Toby says I could use an eraser. Do you mean like the board erasers, Toby? I could. I'd have to cut it to make it smaller than what I've got, but I'm okay with the way this looks. I mean, it does have the two-tony, shadowy look I was going for, so I did accomplish it. It's probably a little too dark in here. But there too, I could probably, I could mess with it all night long. But that's the whole point, right? Is to have it kind of have that distressed, more natural look. And we're going to put our little bow, which again needs one more loop. I know, it needs another loop. Not sure what I was thinking when I made my bow. So we're going to try sticking our little bow in here. Like so, and then we're gonna stick some green stuff out of it. And we're gonna go in both directions in the green. Got my hot glue gun all. So this is what it will look like when we're done, is the theory. Anyway. So really, once I put this stuff on it, the bow, it loses the fact that it needs an additional loop. The biggest key is what direction do we put the bow in? You know, we could, I mean, I could stick green all over coming out of my bow. I need to go to a bow class. Anybody want to teach a bow class? That looks kind of silly. Yeah, I think we're going back to the way we had it. Kind of just got to play with it, right? And make it the way you want it to be. The look you have in your own mind. And every time I keep going back to the same look. So we're going to go with this look. I'm going to hot glue gun down my bow. We're going to start there. And I really should probably hot glue gun down my greenery first, right? And then stick my bow in between. All right, we're going to do that. Let's try that. Let's stick the green down. And then we'll make the bow fit in between. Right? We'll give it a try. So put a blob of hot glue down. Stick my green in it. Hold it while it cools. This is the trick Maria, or the piece Maria always forgets, and I lift it up and then everything falls off. Okay. And then we're going to stick this guy here. Hold him down until he cools. And then we're just going to stick the bow in the middle. And that will be the extent of our demonstration this evening. So I hope you are all surviving and doing well. I did post a workshop Wednesday for 2 weeks from tonight. Yeah, 2 weeks so that I could mail them with the Easter eggs. Because I have some. I don't have a ton, but I do have some Easter eggs. So if you want to participate in Workshop Wednesday, in 2 weeks, we are creating with the Easter eggs. So what is Workshop Wednesday? Workshop Wednesday is where I send you the materials and you create right along with me while I'm making stuff. It's kind of your opportunity to be part of the group. I make the same project that you make and you make it at the same time. It's fun. We've done a few of them. But the next one we're going to do eggs. And that way, because a bunch of you had signed up for the eggs to do classes on your own, that way you can still make the egg. Because I know a bunch of you wanted them. And that way you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, because we can't get together as a large group, you can still have your opportunity to make your eggs. I'm just filling it in with a little more green because I really put my green stuff, if you want honesty, I put my green stuff too high and you can see. So I'm just trying to put another piece in so that it isn't as visible, that I should have put them closer together. So by adding another piece, hopefully I'm going to accomplish that. Trying hard not to burn my fingers off with the hot glue gun. Because I'm a little notorious for that as well. Really, at the end of the day, I'm just a hot mess. Linda says, I would like to make bows. I like to make bows by just cutting 6-inch lengths, a couple of different accordion ribbon, and zip time. Yep, I've done those messy, they're not messy bows, there's a name for them. I just felt this one needed like a real bow. Like so. A no stress bow. Exactly, Linda, right? We like no stress bows. Here we go. All right. Now I'm going to put a big old glob of hot glue and stick my bow in the middle. Hold my bow down. Last time we did this, remember I got hot glue in my hair. Not today. No. No hot glue in my hair today. There we go. Now I can play with my bow. There we go. See, I should have thought of this first. Why didn't I just put the green stuff down and then mess with my bow after the fact? Perfect. All right. Here's our fun little bow. Ta-da! Okay, so we're gathering. But hot glue, see my cute little bow? Look, Mom, aren't you proud? I don't know how well you guys can see it. Okay, it really does need another loop. So I'm just gonna keep moving it around to pretend like it has another loop. But it really does need another loop. I might have to pull it off and make another bow, but it looks fine. I'm over analyzing. So this is our super fun little shadow effect. How did I get hot glue way over there? Our super cute little shadow effect on our words, just to make something kind of fun and different. With a little greenery and a little bow. You know, not my thing. This is just kind of a fun little something different. Now this word would look beautiful all by itself, right? With a very cute little wreath here. It's also, I believe, the one that's on the front of the catalog that says gather, and it has 3 wreaths above it. That's also stunningly gorgeous. This is a 2-piece transfer. The other word is welcome. Makes an amazing welcome board. Sign, you could do all kinds of things. You could chalk that welcome right on your front door. Many people have done that. So that's all I got. I hope you all stay safe, stay home, stay isolated. No lick, as I said to my kids earlier today, don't lick the doorknobs. Not that my kids would lick the doorknobs, but be safe, people. I will be back at you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'm Making Maria. I'm an independent Chalk Couture designer. If you can please do this, it helps me tremendously when you do that. So thank you to everybody who takes the time to hit that button. If you want to check out these amazing products, this is I believe the name of this. Oh, the Gather Welcome Duo. It's an e-size transfer. You can go to www.chalkcouture.com/makingmaria, and you can see I used Storm, I used Black Velvet, I used the Gather Welcome Duo transfer. And Virginia says it looks like tuning. What do you mean, Virg? It looks like tuning. I don't know. Tell me again, Virg. So that's where you can go to see them. If you're curious at all about being a Chalk Couture designer, because it is the best job in the whole wide world, message me. Be more than happy to share the information with you. And we are winding down in this month. Soon, another Club Couture transfer is going to come out. Yay! Oh my gosh, we're so excited, right? Oh, Club Couture is a monthly subscription service where for $19.99 a month, like magic, a B-size transfer, which is 8.5 by 11, gets delivered to your door with 3 paste packets, and it's like your half an hour of guaranteed little me time every single month. All right, so that's it. So we're all in this together, right? We're gonna be crafting. So if you're bored, I got supplies. Just message me. But on 2 weeks from tonight, we are doing a workshop Wednesday, which we're going to do the Easter eggs, which I have back here. We did them 2 ways last time. We did them in color, just for fun, and we did them, they are double-sided, so you can chalk on both sides. We did them in a solid color, which look at how cute they look with our little sign we made tonight. Wow. I didn't even plan that. Don't you love it when that works like that? Oh my goodness, I did not even plan that. All right, well, I guess tomorrow when I take our cute little picture of our cute little sign, I'm gonna need these Easter eggs in there. But anyway, this is the Workshop Wednesday. It's a virtual workshop. I get you the supplies. You can either stop by, we'll do porch pickup, social distancing, but I'll leave them on the porch. You can come pick them up, or I'll mail them to you, whichever you prefer. So you can do colors or you can do fun. And you get the transfer, which is reusable. You can use it over and over again, and it looks super cute on windows. I mean, I know I am not the only one of me out here right now who is looking for things for kids to do. And these are super cute, super fun. They're egg-shaped transfers. You can do all kinds of things with them. Tea towels, cutouts, boards, windows, showers, cabinet doors. I mean, you can put eggs all over your house, and you can make a little Easter egg hunt all over your house if you wanted to. Oh, stunning. Okay, Virg, now thank you, Virginia, for telling me that my poor little bow that needs another loop looks stunning. Virg, you're too nice to me. It kind of looks a little pathetic, Virg. It needs another loop, but oh well. It's not getting one. I will leave it alone. I'm going to walk away because it looks so cute with the eggs, right? So this is our fun little shadow. This is what it looks like on white. We did it last night on black so that you can see the differences between what it looks like. Basically the same exact colors. One black background, one white background. I actually like it better on the black. I'm not going to lie. I like it better on the black. I'm rambling. We've reached that rambling point. And you know when we reach that rambling point, you know what Maria needs to do? She needs to hit the... Oh, before I do that though, if you want to participate in our virtual workshop where we're going to make the eggs, you have to be in the Making Maria VIP group. How do you do that? You comment, add me, or you go in your search bar and you type in Making Maria VIP group and request to join. It's a closed group, but you will see the pricing on these fun little eggs. It's a virtual workshop. You pick them up or I mail them to you, and then 2 weeks from now on a Wednesday night, I make eggs and you make them right along with me. So if you have any questions, I'm right here for you to create with. So it's a lot of fun. We've done it a couple times, and we've had a pretty good time every time we've done it. So let me know if you want to make eggs. Last but not least, if you're watching me on my YouTube channel, which is Making Maria, please subscribe to like my video and subscribe, and then you will get notified. Or click your notification bell, and you'll get notified every time I upload. It's a lot of commercials at the end, don't you think? I gotta figure out a way to just slim that down a little bit. But I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday. Stay safe, stay home. Don't lick the doorknobs. And I will be posting on Homeschool a Mama Day 4 tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, guys. See ya.